Happy Thanksgiving Eve, everyone. It's Wednesday, November 26th, 5 o'clock as I record this. And I'll put it up, I don't know, around 7, and we can talk about it. But I want to talk about a few things. First, I want to give a shout out to Smitty, who we converse on Discord. And he had some questions, and I will get to those as we go through the spreadsheet. First, I want to talk about Robinhood Legend. This is my mouse, there we go. If you go to your if you're on Robinhood, you go to your main Robinhood page. At the very top, there's options. You click Robinhood Legend, totally free if you're on Robinhood, and it brings you to this screen where you can trade. I assume just options. I don't know. You can maybe add other stuff. But anyway, here you can roll your options on the regular Robinhood app, or I don't know about the app. I don't use the app. I use the desktop, the website. You cannot roll options on there. You can close them yourself and buy others, but you can't specifically roll them. But you can on this. And it automatically brings up your account. I did hide the value, but up 3.3% today. So green day. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. I am thankful for the market today. I am thankful for you guys. And, thankful for today. There may not be a tomorrow, so be thankful. After hours, it's down 0.31, but, we'll take any green we can get. So anyway, I just want to mention that. I want to talk about, let me go to, real quick. Well, I want to talk about the splits. I'm sure you've all already heard Yieldmax add Misty and a couple others to their split calendar. And you can look that up. So they are going to split. Some are next week, some the week after. I'm not sure the schedule. I'll update the spreadsheet as they happen. But again, if MicroStrategy reverse splits, that's bad because that's a reflection on the company. When Misty splits, it really is a maintenance thing. It's to keep, because it does go down with strategies tanked. Misty has gone down with it. Plus, they're paying massive yields, so it's going to go down even further. I drip these because every X day, the price goes down by the distribution declared. And in fact, let's just go right to that. I want to show you that. And again, I just want to go to Yieldmax. I'm going to go to Misty. We got a lot of declarations today. I'll get to those. All right, let's go to Misty. Okay, here's Misty. By the way, Misty was up 1.73 today. Strategy was up 2. We'll take it. Misty captured 86% of the yield. So they declared this morning 0.1352, 13.5 cents basically. You guys know I averaged the last 3 distributions, and that has trended down. It was 16, then 14, now 13. But average of the last 3 based on the current price is a 111% yield. So let's say you own, and the price of Misty is $6.94. And I don't even know. I think they're doing a 5-for-1 reverse split. So the price, if that's the case, don't quote me on that. Let's say $7. It's just $6.94. If it's 5-for-1 at $7, the new price will be $35, 7 times greater. Your shares will be 7 times less. Your position hasn't changed. Your value. So if you have 100 shares and it's a 1-for-5, you're going to have 20 shares at $35. Your value stays the same. The distribution today's 13. We'll say 13 cents. will go up times 5, which is, I'm not a math whiz. That's why I use spreadsheets, but it's 5 times greater. So your yield will remain the same. You know, pending new distributions, price changes, all that. So really, with these ETFs, it's a maintenance issue. I really believe that. We'll see. They did it with Tesla a couple years ago, almost a couple years ago, and Tesla's been fine. And I mean, it's gone down again, and they reverse split it again. Tesla is and I only started getting into these this year, but Tesla is my highest total returner. What I've put in has gone down, but the distributions they've paid me has put my total return, it's like 40% in less than a year. Annualized, it's like 58%. And we'll do a portfolio update this weekend, and I will show you that. So anyway, I wanted to touch on that. Let's talk about declarations. Yieldmax Group 2 declared today. We'll start with Abney. Let's make it cleaner here. I hope the zoom's okay. This is at 150. If I zoom anymore, you can't see. I can't see everything. You might be able to. But anyway, Abney declared 9 cents. Average the last 3 is 56% yield. AIYY averages 2 cents. Averages 3 cents, 74% yield. 2 cents today. And that's another reason why some of these are splitting. Eventually, they can't declare less than a cent. So now, if they do a 1 for 10, this 2 cents will be 20 cents. And again, 74% yield. Price and shares will change, but your value will stay the same. Hope that makes sense. People still don't get it. That's why I'm beating it down, because people don't get it. AMDY, 10 cents today, 15 cent average, 97% yield. AMZ, 8 cents today, 9 cent average, 35% yield. Aptly, 8 cent average, 28%. Babo, I love Babo, 13 cents today, 13 cent average, 48% yield. BRKC, 28% or 28 cent average, 30% yield. Coney, again another splitter, because it's 6 cents today, 6.5 cents declared today. 7 cent average, 72% yield. I'm actually excited about the splits, and I think, everyone's bashing them. Switch to this, switch to that. Yieldmax stinks. You're going to see more splits from other companies because they're paying massive yield. The share price can't keep up with the yield they're paying you. So you split them, you can keep up. They go down again, you split them. Yield again. That's my story. So Coney, we did 7 cents, 72% yield. Serco, 54 cent average, 118% yield. Crash, another splitter, and an inverse fund, which has been killing it, but 5 cent average, 95% yield. Carvana, and I told you guys we're up. If we get a little bit more green, going into next week, I'm probably going to start buying some inverse funds because they'll be down. They've just been so up. I didn't want to buy at the top. I want to buy them a little bit lower and get yield on both sides. Carvana, 47 cent average, 71% yield. Dips, 5 cents to 12 cents. Inverse fund, doubled in distribution. Now at 81% yield, based on the last 3. And again, that's for Smitty here. How do I come up with the yield? I average the last 3. This is on dips. 8 cents. I put them in, and this rounds it, but 8 cents, 5 cents, 12 cents. Average is 9. Current price is $5.63. That's my B2 cell over here, B2, 563. And then I go back here. So my annualized yield is H25, which is this average of the last three, divided by B25, which is the price, times 52 weeks. And it comes up, and then I format it to percentage. It comes out to 0.81. You can, do a cell formats. Whoop. Format cells, and you can change the number to a percentage, which I already did, to 2 decimal places. You can go out further, you can go out short. I wouldn't go shorter than 2 because some of them are less than 10 cents. So that's how I do that. Hope that makes sense. So Disney Disso averages 8 cents, 33% yield. Dre on DraftKings went from 54 cents to 55 cents, 85% yield. Phoebe on Facebook, Meta, went from 9 cents to 8 cents, 36% yield. Fiat, another inverse, went from 6 cents. It's been 6 cents. 6, 6, 6. Average is 7 because the 6s are rounded up. So this rounds up to 7. 123% yield. It's highlighted in green here because it is the highest yielding Yieldmax fund, an inverse, based on how I calculate them. So just want to throw that out there. GDXY on gold miners, 20 cents, now 12 cents, 50% yield. Gamey on GameStop went from 51 cents to 51 cents. It's been 51 cents the last three, average is 51, 65% yield. GUI on Google, 9 cents to 22 cents. Google's flying. So the Yieldmax fund will fly. In fact, how'd they do today? They were down today because they've been up. Google was down 1.08. GUI was down 1.02. So less than the underlying, as that's what they do. So anyway, they average 14 cents. That's 46% yield. HIYY on Hims and Hers, 63 cents to 52 cents today, 107% yield based on the average. Hui on Robinhood, 79 cents to 73 cents, 81% yield. Jitmo, JP Morgan, there's some crazy stuff going on there. I don't own it and don't care to at the moment, but average is 9 cents, 28% yield. Maro on Mara went from 21 cents to 19 cents, 118% yield. Murney, again, another splitter because it's been paying 2 cents. And it's $1.48 a share. If it keeps going down, number one, they risk being delisted, which is bad. And you can't pay less than a penny. So this is good stuff. So anyway, they average 2 cents. That's an 86% yield. It's about the yield. Don't go to zero. Pay me the yield. That's it. You guys know how I am. MSFO on Microsoft, 16 cents, now 7 cents, 38% yield. Safer fund. Misty, 14 cents to 13 cents, 111% yield. We talked about that. Netflix on Netflix, 8 cents to 9 cents. That went up. 34% yield based on the average. Nvidia, 14 cents to 16 cents. 15 average, 54% yield. OARC, 7 cents to 7 cents. 8 cent average, 51% yield. Platy on Palantir, 72 cents to 59 cents. 70% yield. PyPy, they are splitting as well. They announced that today. They sent an email with all of all of them that are splitting. They added a few: Misty, PyPy, and some others. So check that out. Also, their website, I imagine, has it. So PyPy went from 7 cents to 7 cents, 8 cent average, 47% yield. Robley on Roblox went from 41 to 39, 62% yield. And by the way, this is group 2, normally declares Thursday. That's markets are closed, so they declared today. I imagine the X date will still be Friday, the payday will still be, I don't know, I guess it'll be Monday. Normally they pay Friday, so it might be a day behind. I haven't looked at that, and I don't care. Just keep paying me. So Robley, did we say Robley? 41-cent average, 62% yield. Ready on Reddit went from 52 cents to 58 cents. That's good. 76% yield. SimC, I do own it. If it's in blue on the far left there, it means I own it. So I own a bunch of these. I've never sold one. I will sell something in December just for tax loss harvest, and rebalance. And we'll get to that when we get to that. So SimC, 19 cents down to 16 cents. Still a 19 average, 106% yield. Love SimC. Snoy, 14 cents, 14 cents. 15-cent average, 54% yield. Tesla, another splitter, for the second time. They paid 9 cents, 8 cents, 9 cents. They went up. 9-cent average, 63% yield. Again, my best total returner. It's like 58% annualized. And I drip them all. You guys know that. TSMY, 10 cents to 10 cents. 12-cent average, 40% yield. Winter, huge fund. It's up to $38. So no NAV erosion there. 81 cents, 84 cents, 92 cents. It's getting bigger. 116% yield. Zomo on ExxonMobil, 8 cents to 5 cents. 7-cent average, 32% yield. XYZY on, it used to be Squee, remember that? On Square. They just changed the ticker. It's still the same company, but they have a million names. 9 cents to 9 cents, 10-cent average, 73% yield. Ybit on Bitcoin, 7 cents to 6 cents, 55% yield. And YQ's short NASDAQ went from 10 cents to 7 cents to 11 cents. Again, a short fund. The market tanked. I mean, today and yesterday were much better, but before that, red. So anyway, 10-cent average, 40% yield. And that is Yieldmax. Overall, Yieldmax, if you average all of them, was up 0.88% today. The underlyings were up 1.53. They captured 57%. We like more than that, but we'll take it. Annualized yield on average is 66%, almost 67%. So that's Yieldmax. Let's talk about Roundhill. Just had Maggie today, I think, or did they? No, they did their indexes too. Yeah, normally they're no, those are Wednesday anyway. Maggie is Thursday, but they did do it today. So we'll talk about that first. Again, Mag 7. They went from 36 to 30 cents. No, 36 to 36. 35% yield. And then their index funds, XDTE went from 26 to 20 cents, 23-cent average, 27% yield. QDTE, 22 average, 34% yield. RDTE on the Russell went from 25 cents to 22 cents, 37 average, because payment before that was 38 cents. But anyway, I'm sorry, 28 average, 48% yield. So that is Roundhill. Let's talk about Yieldboost. This is what everyone wants to talk about. Normally declares Thursday, ex-date Friday, payday Tuesday. Because of Thanksgiving, they declared today, and I assume ex-date will still be Friday, payday Tuesday. Again, I didn't check, but how do you Yieldboost do? Let's just go to the average of all of them. And they've got new funds. 2 new ones from last week, 2 new ones today. They started trading yesterday, and they already declared. And this is what I love about Yieldboost. When they launch a fund, they're going to start paying you right off the bat. So anyway, the underlyings, and again, these are double leverage funds. The exception of a couple of them are triple leverage. But anyway, as an average, the underlyings were up 3.59%. Yieldboost was only up 1.12%. So they only captured 31% of the gain. But if you saw the bloodbath we went through last week, they capture minimal parts of the losses because they have put credit spreads. They sell a put for income, you're totally capped. They buy a put to protect you. So if things go down really, a ton, you're not losing much on your NAV on Yieldboost. So that's Yieldboost. Let's go through the distros. COYY, the winner as far as yield, 158% currently, based on today's declarations. COYY went from 29 to 27 cents, 30-cent average. HOYY on Robinhood. Again, these are all double leverage. A couple are triple leverage. 47 cents to 44 cents, 149% yield. And TSYY is now my second biggest holding. iKoi is my biggest. And we'll talk about those. They declared today as well. So 16-cent average, 142% yield. SMYY, and this is like TSYY, it's at $6. We talk about Yieldmax splitting, reverse splitting, and how terrible it is. TSYY is going to do it too. They have to. Because margin maintenances are going to go to 100% when it gets too cheap. You can't trade options on it and the distributions, they're still pretty good, but it's maintenance. They're all going to do it. The higher yielder. And by the way, I am going to start covering Curve, K-Yield, and maybe some others, but right now K-Yield is the one. I know a lot of you guys like that, and I will start covering it soon. I can't promise you when. So TSYY, 16 cents, 142% yield. We talked about that. SMYY, SMYY went from 46 to 43 cents, 146% yield. AMYY went from 44 to 42 cents, 102% yield. XBTY went from 24 cents to 22 cents, 107% yield. NVYY went from 40 cents to 39 cents, 104% yield. Again, a lot of 100%ers. PLYY, 39 cents to 37 cents, 103% yield. BBYY, 40 cents to 40 cents. That's good. 98% yield. MTYY, MIDI, 22 cents to 19 cents, 111% yield. TQQY, on the Qs, 16 cents, 16 cents, 16 cents. 51% yield. That's an index. YSPY, that's on the SPY. 18 cents, 17 cents, 17 cents, 50% yield. AZYY, 19 cents to 20 cents, 52% yield. FBYY, 19 cents, 19 cents, 48% yield. That is the worst yielder based on how we calculate things here. That's awesome. So take it as you will. May, MAYY, 53 cents, 55 cents went up. And that is a 151% yield. IOYY on IonQ, 64 cents, 60 cents, 156 yield. Nuggy, this is a new one. They've just declared their second payment. They went from 47 cents to 46 cents, 96% yield. Semiconductor Fund, 64 cents to 63 cents, 138% yield. And it's not a single stock. And then RGYY launched, I think, yesterday. It's at 25 bucks. In fact, how'd that do? It was up. Rigetti, double leverage Rigetti, was down 3.87. RGYY was up 0.95. And then the other one, QBY, was QBTX, the double leverage QBTS, was down 1.86. QBY was up 0.1%. So again, first payment on RGYY was 66 cents, 137% yield, and QBY 63 cents, 134% yield. That is Yieldboost. This is why we love Yieldboost. They are averaging 112% yield. So, I mean, I can't complain. And I know you guys love Yieldboost, so you're not complaining either. Let's go to Income Blast. I expect new funds in December. BITK, which is on IBIT. These are zero DTE funds. I like the strategy. Let's see. BITK was up more than the underlying. IBIT was up 2.97, BITK up 3, and MSTR was up 2, MSTK was up 2.63. So they both were higher than their underlyings, and they paid today. BITK, or declared today. Normally it's Thursday, payday's Tuesday. I assume it's still going to be Tuesday on payday, but they declared a day early because of the holiday. BITK went from 13 cents to 12 cents, 45% yield. MSTK went from 35 cents to 28 cents, 143% yield. So no complaints there. I love them. I own them both, and I expect more to come. I will buy those because of the strategy, the zero DTE. So let's go to Roundhill. What Roundhill declares every day? Yeah, they declared their XDTE, which is the S&P. Did we go over these? I feel like we did. Anyway, 23 cent average, 27% yield. QDTE, 22%, or 22 cent average, 34% yield. RD, yeah, we talked about these because Maggie's in there. Maggie declared today, a day early. So that's Roundhill. This is what I want to talk about. Bitwise. You guys know I love Bitwise. How they do overall. Let's see. The underlyings were up 2.59. Bitwise was up 2.2. They captured 85%. That's what we want with these, covered call ETFs. And these are single stock covered call ETFs. They have two new ones. ICRC on Circle Internet Group and IETH on Ethereum. And they did declare today. So let's see how they did. IMST, and again, it's monthly, and that's a drawback for a lot of you. I wish they would go weekly because that's what the market wants. That's what we want. But I just look at the yield. It doesn't matter if it's monthly or weekly. The higher yield is my game. The problem is you got to wait a month for a lower payment, and we did see that with these, but still massive yields. So let's go through them. IMST went from $2.88 to $1.50. Still a 196% yield based on the average of the last three, but they've all come down. $3.75, $2.88, $1.50. iCoy went from $4.79, $3.93, and now $2.59. 203% yield based on that average. So again, they have dropped. IMRA on Mara, $2.89 to $3. That went up, and now down to $1.69. So that is a 150% yield based on that average. IGME on GameStop went from $3.20 to $2.77 to $2.38. So it has dropped, 116% yield. The worst is the new one, 99% yield. They declared today, $2.49.9. So we round to $2.50. 99% yield. That's the Circle one. And then IETH on Ethereum, 299, and rounds to 3, that's 100% yield. So 144% yield annualized if you average the Bitwise funds. That's the declarations. I told you it was busy because we had the Wednesday declarations anyway, and then the Thursday declarations declared today. So good stuff. That's all I wanted to talk about, right? Smitty also wanted to know about, I think he said growth year to date. And I used dividendchannel.com drip returns calculator. I think from the main site you go to calculator and then drip returns. And you can put in any symbol. Let's put in Misty for you haters. You can put in the day you bought it. I'll just start it. It defaults to January 95, which it didn't exist then, but that doesn't matter. And I'll go to today, November 26, 10,000 invested, and it brings up this chart. I don't think I can zoom that. Anyway, we'll go. The bottom one is without dividends reinvested. It started February 22nd of 2024, so almost 2 years. End date, well, this says 25th, but anyway, it was 2019 start price per share. Now it's $6.94. You collected $44 in dividends, so clearly house money. Your total return is 142%, and your annualized is 65%. So your 10,000 is now 24,000. This is interesting because with them reinvested, it's actually worse. And this comes out better on every other fund I've looked at. This is the first time I'm seeing where your 10,000 is only 19,000 with dividends reinvested. But so it's a 45% annualized. Without, it's a 65% annualized. So for you Misty sucks people, that doesn't suck. And those are annualized numbers, 45 and 65. The thing with, if you didn't reinvest them, you're taking cash out or you're putting them in other things, you does it have your share count? No, I thought it used to. No, just when you drip them. Well, when you don't reinvest them, you put in 10 grand, whatever amount of shares that was at the beginning, that is what you have. I mean, you still have the same shares, not counting the reverse split. If you did reinvest them, you started with 471 shares, so that's what it would be on the bottom here. 471 shares. You still have 471 shares. But if you drip them, your 471 shares is now 2,700 shares. And because MicroStrategy and Misty have gone down so much, reinvesting the dividends, you haven't averaged down enough to get the same total return. But anyway, I hope that makes sense. But check that out for any of you people. It's dividendchannel.com/drip-returns-calculator. I think you can just find it from the main site. Dividendchannel.com. You go to calculator. Drip, and it pops right up. So 2 clicks to get to it, and you can put in whatever you want. Put in multi. Another hated from the beginning. This is where it looks better. Barely. But you have more shares. So if Ulti turns around, you're getting massive payments versus the same payment you got when you started. I mean, your payments have gone down. If you're dripping it, your payments are staying the same or going up. Again, I hope that makes sense. It's been a long couple days for me. I am now off until Monday, so I'm very excited. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I'll do something tomorrow. If nothing, just the predictions for Friday. We got a lot of Roundhill on Friday to predict. And then the weekend, I will do I'll do my top 10 on Saturday. Probably a portfolio update. I'll actually show you my snowball analytics portfolio, so you can see that. Again, I'm not a whale, so be prepared. But I'm making income, and I'm adding to it and making more income, and I'm adding to it, and that's the plan. I'll also talk about my options trades. I did do, you saw, I did another call credit spread, which is bearish on the Qs. I did it yesterday. The trade only lasted a couple hours. The delta, I wait 15 minutes after the market opens for things to settle. They did not. So the 25 delta, the night before was, and I do a 5 width trade credit spread. I was going to sell the 614 and buy the 619 calls on the Qs. And 9:45 a.m. rolls around. The delta was down to where I like the 25 delta. It was down to 610 instead of 614. So I sold the 610, bought the 615, and normally, I did, right after it filled, I set a profit target of 50%. I think my credit was like $100, so I set a profit target for around 50. When it got to the 50, closes out. It got to about 70. I think it was 72. And this is a couple hours after the open. The market did drop a little bit, after I got in, and I started seeing a trend where everything was going up. And that's how we ended green yesterday. So I just closed it. So I bought it or sold it for 100, bought it back for about 70. So I made $30, but the problem with that trade, and I'm going to talk about a different trade next week, is you have to monitor it throughout the trading day, which is hard for me because I work. So we were slow at work, so I was able to kind of watch it, but it could have turned on me really quick. And by the end of the day, remember I was short the 610. I think it closed in fact, let's look. I think it was like 615. This is yesterday. Not closed at 608, but it got up to 610. It got up to my short strike, and I was worried it was. So when it was, I think 608, I was getting worried. And look, it just gapped up today, and it was a weekly trade. Expires Friday. I could have held it overnight, but with the holiday and all that, I didn't want to bother. So anyway, I made a few bucks. But next week, I'm going to show you my cash secured put, my wheel strategy, but it's modified. Zero maintenance, no rolling, and I think you'll be interested in that. And I'll show you that, and I'll show you what I'm doing it on Monday, and how to maintain it, even though you don't have to. You only maintain it if you get assigned, which is like, small chance, but it happens. And then how to get out of it quick and make money. So we'll talk about that on Sunday. But otherwise, have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll put something out tomorrow. I hope to see you. If you need anything, let me know. Give me a comment. Give me a like. I love those. But I love the comments more because I don't know who likes the videos. It just tells me how many likes. Give me a comment. And some of you are regular commenters, and I appreciate that. Keep them coming. And let's get to, I'm at, I think, 248 subscribers. Let's get to 250, by tomorrow. And when I get to 1,000, I can do live videos, which I want to do, where we can actually interact live. And if you ask something, I can pull up a chart or whatever. So let's plan on that. Let's get there. Otherwise, happy Thanksgiving. Have a great evening.